Hello, and welcome to Nerds and Stuff. My name is Martin, and before we get back to our Urban Shadows campaign, Friends Like These, I'm going to have my players and characters introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Sterling, and I'm playing Calvin Miles, your friendly neighborhood wizard.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm playing Oliver Silver, your devious scheming vampire.
I'm Junior, I'm playing Jake Gordon, the tainted who's on a mission.
On a mission. Alright, here we go. Our heroes, Oliver was setting an ambush. Yeah, heroes is a very liberal use of the word.
Yay, from a certain perspective.
Jake was leaving Cato Tower.
Yep.
Having received conditions for seeing his loved ones again. Oliver is waiting in a manager's office.
Just vampire things.
First world vampire problems, yeah. And Calvin, last we saw him, he was having a tender moment with Aurora. Yep. So I think we're going to start up today. We kind of round robined. You're up next, right? So we'll start up. I'm just going to keep spooky music rolling.
That's just theme for the campaign.
Not for any particular reason. All right, here we go.
It's Calvin's house. That's spooky enough.
It's Thursday day, and I guess one of the things that you and Aurora have probably been talking about a little bit lately. I know you and Aurora and Vincennes probably talk quite often-ish now.
Yeah, a little more, maybe.
Scheming a little bit, trying to figure out how to settle this werewolf-vampire war as easily as possible, as amenable, I think that's the word, as possible. And so it's been on your mind that your buddy Jake is fighting to the death with the beta of the Blood Moon something. I think that's their name.
The Blood Moon Pack?
The Blood Moon Pack. Is that a thing? There's a lot of pronouns in this game. There's a lot of lists that I have. It's the werewolves. We know what we're talking about. So Trent and Jake are fighting to the death tonight, and that doesn't work out either way, right? So that's been something that's kind of concerned you and Aurora as of late, especially last night, and especially today because it's the day of the fight. So we're going to just put you on campus because that's where your like default midday thing is. Yeah, we'll say that class was not canceled today. And so what's Calvin doing today? What's his big agenda?
I think right now, Calvin had been talking with Aurora and Vincennes about how to break into Cato's.
Yeah. Last we saw them all three together, it was at the new Salem Restoration Group, and they were talking about Vincennes has a plan to spring Anna and Sarah free without Trent dying, which is ideally the plan because that would probably put Jake in the debt as well.
There's a little bit of a timer on that one.
Well, and,
very much a timer. Yeah.
Yeah. Trent and I are on good terms now, and I'd hate to see him go and lose my debt I have over him. So I think I'm gonna try and call Jake and see if we can figure out, tell him about the plan a little bit and how.
And Jake hasn't been answering. You've probably tried to reach out to him a little bit earlier with this plan, but
he's been ghosting me.
Yeah, and he's been ghosting you. He's been training really hard.
He knows really offensive to specters.
Yeah, and he knows that is very offensive. Yeah, Isabel would slap you if she had physical form. Yeah, she would have to manifest, and that would have to be one of her three choices.
You'd have to you'd have to see her, and then she'd have to be able to interact. But
you couldn't talk, so she couldn't yell at you. Inspectors, or she'd yell at you, and then she'd slap you, but you couldn't see where she was.
So you wouldn't be able to get the whole facial feature.
Oh, you wouldn't just get it. Yeah. I mean, it's complicated.
And just yelling and seeing isn't good enough for Jake. It wouldn't get through his skull.
No, very simple man. Anyways, long story short, don't call specters. Ghosts.
Just
ghosting them. Yeah. But he's probably been avoiding you. You now have a better plan, right? You have logistics. You have intel on the location. Everything is ready to go. The only problem is that it has to be at night, and tonight might be too late, right? Because Trent won't be able to help if he's dead, or it doesn't matter if Jake is dead. So I think you're reaching out to Jake.
Yep. Ring, ring.
Now, Jake, this might... you do know a little bit that Calvin and Aurora are becoming closer.
Friends. Yeah.
You-
It's easier for him to contact her than it would for me.
Absolutely. And the probably last point of contact, you don't know that they're dating, but you do know that they were last seen together at the New Salem Restoration meeting.
Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up this time.
Whoa.
Oh God! Someone actually answered their phone.
Yeah,
That
but it
doesn't
went to
happen
like
in this
25
campaign.
seconds, so you're thinking it's a voicemail almost right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello?
Damn it, Jake. Answer your phone.
It's me, man. What's up?
Oh, Jake, you answered. You really should change your voicemail from just hello.
Jake would be that guy, too. Hello?
You've reached.
Hello? I think your phone is muted. Nah, I'm just joking. Yeah.
Look,
Page from
Jake,
Sterling Archer. Yeah.
we need to talk.
Calvin, I'm busy. You know I have a coming up flight coming up.
I know, I get that. But, like I said, man, there's no reason to go through with that. Look, I've been talking with some people, some powerful people. They're willing to make a move to help you out. They're willing to go in there and save them and help you get out of here.
Calvin, look, I appreciate that, but I have this. I don't want to jeopardize them. I need to do this so that they're fine.
Look, just
Doing your plan and whatever scheming, that's not me. You know that.
Just hear me out, alright? I want to show you it. If you think it's a good idea, then we'll roll with it. But if not, go on and ruin your life. But just, will you meet me for lunch?
I'm really busy, man, but...
It's on me. What? Like a burger that'll help you with your fight, right? Get some protein in you.
Calvin knows a lot about fist fighting.
That's a lot of-
Burger, right? You want Thai food?
Is it just going to be us, you and me, then?
Yeah, I mean,
I heard you were getting close to Aurora. Is that true?
yeah, but what does that have to do with it?
I'm looking for her. I just have a question. Do you think you could bring her?
Yeah, she'd probably be better at explaining it to me anyway.
Yeah, you named the place. Where you want to meet?
Let's go to
Place.
Mystery
It's a
food
place here.
place, yeah.
Mystery Food Place. I love that place.
Yeah.
Restaurant number 4.
All right. I'll 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Okay, I'll meet you there.
Alright.
All right. So you hang up the phone and you're like, holy shit.
That was easy.
I just got Jake to go to lunch with me. Calvin is completely oblivious, so he's not even suspicious about that whole Aurora exchange.
Normally, Calvin's the one that gets all the phone calls demanding he gets meetings for lunch.
Exactly. Within 30 minutes, I need you to be across town.
So
Yeah.
this is how it
Yeah.
feels.
Yeah. So Aurora shows up on campus. She was planning on going to lunch with you, and she kind of shows up and she's like, "Hello,
Hey,
how's your day been?"
it's good. How was yours?
It's just, I don't know, it's been really frantic. Vincenz is freaking out, as you can imagine.
I'm sure he is. Well,
We can't convince Trent not to take this stupid fucking fight.
well, we might be able to convince Jake. I just set up a meeting with him to tell him about the plan
Okay.
and hopefully get him on board.
Oh my god, Calvin, that would be amazing.
Would you come with me?
Yeah, if you think it'll help.
Alright, well, I
Yeah.
think it would.
All right, Restaurant 4, is that what we said?
Restaurant number 4, yes.
All right, so we're heading out, and
Hello, server number 3.
so I'm gonna ruin your day a little bit, because that's my job. So Corey Johnson, everybody knows and loves him.
Oh my God.
Dean Johnson. Dean Dick. He comes up to you frantically, right? He comes up to you frantically. He's like, "Calvin, I need to talk to you right
Great,
now."
I'm taking my lunch break.
Nope.
We'll just...
This cannot wait. I need to.
You are salaried.
This cannot wait. It needs to be dealt with urgently. It might be the rest of your afternoon.
Look.
You might have to cancel your Thursday afternoon class for this.
Oh shit, the dean just told
With
you to cancel the
permission.
class.
I was just heading to lunch. Teachers
Professor-
Union allows me
Professor
an hour
Miles?
lunch.
I will buy your lunch today, but this is non-negotiable. Okay? I have put myself out there for you beyond counting. You owe me. You take your lunch in an hour or two or tomorrow. This is important.
Well,
It has to deal with the safety of one of your students, and even more so, he looks at Aurora, your daughter.
My what?
Perhaps we should speak in private away from former faculty.
Alright.
Aurora's unimpressed.
Look, just a second. Aurora.
That's fine. I'll be in my office. I hope to see you there within a few minutes. Otherwise, don't bother coming back.
Alright.
Damn.
But
Okay.
can you?
Aurora, I need you to go and handle this thing with Jake. I don't know what he wants.
So, let me get this straight. We're meeting Jake for lunch to explain the plan, Vincent's plan.
Yes, at restaurant number 4.
Okay, I just hope he'll listen to me. I mean, I know he doesn't know me as well as he knows you.
Well, he'll listen. I don't see why he wouldn't.
All right. Come as soon as you can if...
I'll try and meet you there.
All right.
Alright.
All right, she leans over and she gives you a kiss on the cheek. And she says,
Oh.
yeah. Stop, my students are right there. Yeah. No, and she says, yeah, so she just takes off. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess I'll go to talk with Johnson.
Okay, so as you walk into Dean Johnson's office, he says, Calvin, this Paranormal Investigators Club is getting out of control. Ever since you mentioned that spectral happening 4 weeks from now in April.
You realize I made that up, right?
Yes, well, Duncan doesn't. He recently heard about... Well, he met with, from my understanding, a hunter.
The Mormons.
He's in his office. He doesn't have to be
Oh,
censored.
okay.
Yeah. He met with one of the hunters. He seems like a crazed maniac, but this maniac was telling him about the dead walk among us and preaching all this weird stuff. He's been doing it on the streets for weeks.
But not around the vibe.
Not around the vibe. He hasn't been there in at least a week and a half. Mostly because the vibe closed after the big mass shooting.
There's way less people there.
Yeah. But he plans on having this hunter at the next meeting, and rumor has it he was bragging to another classmate about how he stole his father's revolver or something. Apparently his dad is a private investigator of his own sort.
Well, no wonder the kid's a loon.
No kidding. Listen, this is very important. I know that Duncan has met your daughter, and I've seen them on campus around here from time to time.
You have?
Mostly at lunch. If you came to campus, you would probably see them. Of course your daughter would come here. She knows that's the last place you go. You just broke
Oh, damn it.
Then what do you want me to do? I told you it was a dumb idea to get this club started in the first place.
We can't stop them from making a club.
Can't
I need you to stop it from escalating, Calvin.
And I've been trying. But
Then-
kids are stupid and they're gonna do what they want to do.
Well, then point them in a different direction. Don't tell them that one of the biggest things that they have to prepare for is 4 weeks away.
I mean...
Calvin, I knew I shouldn't have trusted you with this. Listen,
But
take care of this situation. Reach out to Duncan. Try to de-escalate the situation.
Alright, well...
Here's his phone number. His cell phone number. He kind of hands you a folded post-it note. I got this from the registrar's office. I want you to make this your top priority. You can go gallivanting with Aurora as much as you want afterwards.
Look, this...
If
I
not
really
for the
wish you would
university,
do something for yourself once in a while, Dean.
I'm trying to hold this whole shitstorm together.
What a great job you're doing at that. I just
Yes,
take
well,
the piece of paper.
Thanks
and
for
like,
taking care of the club business as well. And you guys kind of have a nasty interaction.
Yep.
Yep. Probably slammed his door on the way out. Yeah. All right. So, right. So I think we're gonna cut to. You want to cut to Jake or Oliver next? Probably Jake. Oh God. Yeah. Let's cut to Jake. So it is lunchtime. It's early lunch because you have a late lunch. For those of you who didn't see, because Daniel's looking away, he licked his chops because his character's hungry, or he's sending me sexual innuendo, which we will resolve after tonight's session.
Can we watch?
No. Oh. You have to buy tickets.
It's
like the arena match. It's like the arena match. Whoever dies first loses. I don't know. Okay. This is getting weird real quick. Anyways.
Meeting at restaurant number 4.
Yep, restaurant number 4.
Which is a really pretentious place. Like it's a chain restaurant that like the celebrity chef opened. He called his first one just
Calvin can't afford that shit. Calvin promised to buy.
Yeah, this is like hole-in-the-wall burger place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No one said he was a good celebrity chef.
So what is your scheme? You understand that Calvin and Aurora are going to be coming to lunch. What's your play to get Calvin away from Aurora?
Yeah, I am just gonna.
You're probably gonna let the vampires know.
Yeah, I'm gonna let someone know, one of the Bloodmore clan, that I'm meeting with.
He probably gave you Leold's point of contact.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and let him know that I'm meeting with Aurora and a friend of mine, and that she's going to be, out, and if they can help me,
they can take care of it. Yeah. So you don't even care if Calvin is kind of
at this point. No.
Okay. That's rough.
At this point,
that's rough. That's rough. What a good buddy.
I know, but
what a good buddy.
Jake's a dick.
I need to see.
Did you write that in your journal?
I drew a picture of it.
Jake is a dick.
I need to see.
But Oliver was also a dick in his journal.
I think Martin did a dick in that journal too.
Yeah, everybody's a dick. Yeah.
So.
All right. So.
I mean, I hope there's no collateral damage, but
you're waiting in lunch, and you see Aurora walk in, and she's alone, and you're kind of like a little suspicious. Yeah, you're waiting for Calvin, and she recognized you a little bit. The last time you saw each other was at the construction site, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, she kind of nods at you. You're already sitting in a booth or a table or something. So you flag her down. She comes over and she sits down and she goes, "I am so sorry. Calvin cannot make it. Something about the university and the dean needed his urgent assistance. I am terribly sorry for this."
Okay, well, he was saying something about a plan, or I don't know. He needed me to meet. What? I have stuff to do today.
Listen, I understand that you feel like this is your only option. I do not know that much about you. But what Calvin has told me is that you care deeply for your girlfriend and her daughter. Is that correct?
Yes. That's why I do everything.
Listen, Vincenz has a plan. And I know that, from my understanding, you don't trust him very much. But he has done nothing to betray you. He has done nothing to hurt you. Think about this, Jake. Cato has your family, and he's holding them over you. You think that if you win, Cato's going to just let them go?
He will return them to me, as if I prove my alliance and my loyalty. This is the only way. I don't do scheming. I don't do any of that.
We're not asking you to scheme. We need your help. We need you to help us break into Cato Tower tonight, if need be. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. We have floor plans. We have someone inside that will let us in. We can make this happen, Jake. You don't have to fight Trent. And if you lose, Trent he's an amazing combatant. He's killed dozens.
I understand that. I know
that.
If
you lose, what does that do for Anna and Sarah? And then she's like realizing she's getting carried away at this like hole in the wall diner.
I'm just like, I know, but I can't gamble with this. This is the only thing I know. Battle is the only thing I know, and it's what I'm good at.
So does Trent.
I have to bet on myself.
Trent didn't get to be a beta by his scheming, by his leadership. He is one of the toughest werewolves I have ever met.
I know, but when you do things, you have to do for your family, for who you love, no matter the cost.
And what about Trent's family? You're just gonna throw their lives away? Pitch their lives in darkness?
He has my sympathy, but this world is dark. And I have to do what I must for my family, and I hope you understand that as well. and I'm just gonna stand up.
Okay. And at that point, I think we have some pretty sketchy-looking dudes with tattoos all over their arms.
A whole bunch of like gaunt-looking.
Yep.
Like,
Just looking
And
meth
I'm just gonna stand
addict-looking
up and be
people.
like, I hope you understand that, and then I'm gonna.
And she's really confused.
I'm gonna
And
just wave, so kind of just.
yep. So they kind of rush over to her and grab her. These are obviously ghouls in the daylight. And do you help them? She immediately starts to struggle. She starts to cast. They bind
Yeah,
her
no,
arms.
yeah, I'm gonna be
What
like-
is Aurora's magical trinket or whatever?
She probably has like a ring.
Okay. So she starts to cast with a ring. And
So
they
yeah, I'm
immediately,
just gonna be like, oh wait, and then just
Okay.
accidentally punch her.
Okay.
So
So you just clock her right across
yeah,
the face.
like, oh,
Okay.
and then be like, oh, she's okay, guys, she's okay.
we have this horde
We
of
gotta-
meth heads taking her out. We're
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Right.
So your plan is to kidnap her in broad daylight
Yep.
from a restaurant. Okay. All right.
We'll just add that to the Jake list.
At
To the-
this point,
To the authorities. Yeah.
At this point,
All
It's a good
right.
thing he has such a generic name, or else
So
they'd have
you-
found him by now.
He looks like every dock worker you've ever met. Yeah. He's a short guy, medium build.
Yep.
Yeah. Every police sketch looks the same. Yeah. All right. So
plus
you.
there's probably not very many people. in
You
there.
you knock her out, and then you guys basically like jump out the ghouls,
Yep, just carry her.
throw her into a van, and you guys haul ass out of there.
I'm not even gonna haul ass out. I'm just gonna kind of go somewhere. I guess
Holy
I will.
shit.
I will head in there. Have him drop
You
me
gonna
off.
sit and enjoy a
Damn.
I will,
burger?
no. I'm gonna have him drop me off.
All right.
Back at like.
So you guys just tear ass out of there.
Yeah.
You hear as you're kind of like pulling away, you hear sirens going off. Like you're just like, oh my god, like I can't believe I'm fucking doing this. So as you're like kidnapping someone in broad daylight, you hear like sirens off in the distance as your white nondescript van drives away.
Full of meth heads.
Full of meth heads and a unconscious Aurora. I think we're gonna cut back to Oliver.
Oh, Jake.
Oh, Jake.
I'm a
Jake,
simple man.
Jake can't see 2 feet in front of him for the big plan, for the big picture. And Calvin's just beaming him. So he's just beamed him.
Jake is dead.
Sorry.
Jake sold out
Hey, man.
Calvin's daughter to
To Kato, yeah. Pretty sure
abducted his girlfriend.
Pretty sure Calvin has your fucking number at this point, buddy. All right, so we're gonna cut
Friend.
back. We're gonna. What a good buddy. We're gonna cut back to Oliver. Oliver has been waiting in this manager's office for what feels like an eternity. Usually, you spend most of your morning sleeping,
Right.
and now you're tired and you're getting frustrated and you're remembering the pain because it's swelling inside of you. And just when you're feeling like you're about to become overwhelmed by this pain, you hear an awkward knock at the manager's door, and then the manager kind of peeks in, and he's even seeing like your eyes
I've
are
got the
turning
lights
a little
off.
Yeah, your like eyes are turning a little red and the lights are off, and he's just like the daylight pouring in is showing like a very gaunt, sort of dangerous looking Oliver. And he says, everything's done. They're in one of the VIP rooms. It's pretty private, so you should have some time. I do have someone else coming in about 30 minutes, so...
Don't worry, Mr. Marcus. We should be well done by then.
Fair enough. I'll show you to the room then. He walks you out of the manager's office, through the kitchen, into the restaurant area, and you head back and you find one of the kind of side VIP rooms. It's, we'll say that this restaurant has a lot of themes, and like it's a very rustic, natural sort of restaurant. It has these different rooms that feel very much like cabins or something. And so he kind of gestures to the door and he goes, they're right in this room.
Kind of steel myself before entering. This is not going to be pretty. And I open the door.
Okay.
And I also imagine that Oliver's got a big hat, like kind of like a business hat from like the 50s.
Okay.
You know how they always wore that with their suits because
Yeah.
I'm out in the sun and trying to stay as safe as possible. So I open the door and just kind of rush in, just with like big overcoat and hat,
Yep.
and kind of close the door behind me. I imagine it's just got like a button lock on it to ensure that you have the most safety.
There's no locks on this.
No
this
locks.
is a restaurant and a side room, so I'll just say you have to like wedge a chair if you want to block it. But you immediately pour in, and there's Mistress Ivy clad in her kind of illustrious leathers, and there's a lot of reds and greens, and you see Artemis, he's kind of in his business suit. He has his tie let down a little bit. He looked very relaxed.
I turn to like a little coat rack that's sitting there, and I take my hat off and hustle off my my overcoat really quickly, like a businessman that's in a big hurry. And then just turn around to them. Artemis.
Yeah, they're both like looking at you frantically, and Mistress Ivy immediately has a terrified look in her face.
I thought we might talk about joining that health club of yours.
What? Oliver, sorry. Oliver, what are you doing here?
I know you must be a little surprised to see me. I'm guessing that you thought the poison would work?
Mistress Ivy looks at Artemis and she goes, "What the fuck have you done?" And Artemis looks at her, he's like, "I don't know what this is." And she's like, Ollie, you have to let me explain. And Artemis is like, "What the hell is going on?"
Well, Artemis, Ivy here decided to try and poison me the other night. She brought me a few bottles of blood that were, a little less sanitary than they should have been. Had a little something extra mixed in.
Oliver, Mistress Ivy would never. Poison, you say? And she's... Oh, it's terrible. And Artemis is like, "What is going on, Oliver? What are you doing here? It's broad daylight."
It is broad daylight, but I didn't know of a better way to really get a hold of Ivy.
What? He's just very confused, and Mistress Ivy is like, "Artemis, what have you done?" Like, nothing. I don't know what's going on. I think it's time for me to go. And she kind of stands up and like starts to leave.
I kind of just cross over to her and I just put a hand on her shoulder and just push her back into her seat.
Like your vampire quickness?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to make you persuade an NPC with threats. To get her to like not scream out or cry out or anything. So this is with heart. To persuade her to have a seat.
Okay, so I rolled poorly.
Okay.
But I do have this irresistible. When you persuade, even if you miss, your machinations succeed as though you rolled 7 through 9, but attract the attention of a rival or enemy.
Okay. So, right. They modify the terms of the debt. So, she is going to, I guess, kind of call out suddenly, and as you shove her down, she, like, knocks over a bowl and it smashes, and you're like, if the manager is nearby, he's probably going to hear about this, and this isn't turning into a talk. You're just, like, realizing that you might not have time to have a full conversation. So Artemis is looking very angry when you're becoming forceful with Ivy as well.
Ivy, I only want information. I want to know why. Why did you try to kill me?
Oliver, you have to understand, Mistress Ivy would never try to kill you. I had no idea that it was poisoned.
Claire, let's be frank.
And she kind of seems completely disarmed at this point.
I know that kind of poison, that particular poison, does not just accidentally occur. That particular poison comes from a place that you should have no access to.
And Artemis goes, "Claire, what is going on? Why did you poison Oliver?" And she goes, I didn't. Artie, I didn't have a choice. She kind of breaks character. She almost never refers to herself as I. It's almost always Mistress Ivy. I didn't have a choice. Oliver, you have to understand. The court threatened to shut me down. This is the only way that I could save my business, my livelihood, my everything.
What could the court have had on you to shut you down? You don't cater to Faye.
Does it matter?
It does to me.
Look, whatever you're here to do, just do it. I don't
I want
answer
to try to
you.
figure her out.
I don't answer to you. Roll.
Not with those dice. I got a 7. Figure someone out is with mind, so I got a 7.
All right. So on a figure someone out, on a hit, you hold 2, and they on a 7 through 9, they hold 1 on you as well. So what are your 2 questions?
Okay, so since she's being super guarded about whoever's in charge, I want to know who's pulling your strings.
Okay. So whoever's pulling Mistress Ivy's strings.
Yeah.
So do you want to do this in game, or do you want me to explain?
We can do it in game,
okay.
sure.
Okay. And what's your second question, just so we can?
It'll be, what's your character's beef with me?
Okay.
I'm a great guy.
My question will be, what does your? No. I'm going to say, what's your character hoping to get from me? Okay. All right. Okay.
The truth.
The truth. Damn it. Or no.
I can handle
Okay.
the truth.
This is actually better. How could I get your character to let me off the hook? I guess. For me trying to kill you. Okay. Let's get back into it. So, you asked her why she did it.
Who's pulling her strings?
Well, before that, when we were
yeah.
role playing. What was your question?
I just want to know why.
Okay. Oliver, you have to understand where I came from, what I did to become who I am. I saw an opportunity and I took it, and I'm sorry, and I didn't want you to get hurt. I didn't know that the poison was going to be fatal. They didn't tell me it was going to be fatal. I wanted you to appear dead. Listen,
The darkness is just like starting to ebb around me.
the court said that it would teach you a lesson. Look, they put out a hit on you, and I heard about it, and I just used it as an opportunity to gain favor with them, to elevate my status with them. We're trying to expand. I'm trying to take what I can from this fucking city before it consumes me whole. Oliver, I never meant to hurt you. You have to understand. And Artemis is like, Oliver, you're still alive. Is there anything at all? Ollie, please, don't do this. Mistress Ivy looks at you and she says, Oliver, you have to understand. It's just business.
It's just business. And then I feed on her.
Okay, so you just like, because you were kind of over her shoulder.
Right.
So you just...
And like the darkness is just like growing around me. I'm getting more and more gaunt.
Okay, so you just lord over her, you reach down, you bite her in the neck.
It's
and
business.
She just kind of immediately, because you're just ravishly biting into her, right? Is this a move that you have to roll for?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Alright, go ahead and roll it.
I rolled a 3, which with blood gives me a 6. On a 10 up, I choose 3. On a 7 through 9, I choose 2. On a miss, something goes terribly wrong.
Okay, so you meant to feed on her, probably to teach her a lesson?
Yeah.
Yeah, to hurt her back. And as feral as you are, as out of control, and it's just business.
Imbued with rage.
Yeah, so you lurch down on her, and you
pleasure.
Rip open her throat. Right here, this whole section just gets ripped out. And blood sprays across the room. It covers Artemis's face, and it's just gushing blood. And you're taken aback for a moment. You didn't realize you were this hungry. You're tired. You're angry. This hatred inside of you is knotting and twisting.
Darkness is just...
And as the blood rolls into you, do you get secrets from them, or is that only on a hit?
That's only on a hit, but
okay.
I'm a fan of the fiction.
You are? Because I remember that had happened before. So you're feeding on, like, you just rip her open and you look startled. You weren't preparing to hurt her like this. You were going to teach her a lesson, but maybe not like this. And blood just sprays across Artemis' face like a streak, right? And then he just stands up and he kind of tries to rip you off Claire, Mistress Ivy, and you throw him back into the wall. And you kind of look down. You have a moment to help her, or you have a moment to finish her.
I am consumed by darkness right now. Okay. It is begetting me. and I don't think Oliver would help at this point. It's like, blood in the water for a shark.
Okay. So you shove him back, loud thud, and you just sink your teeth down into this sopping, wet, bloody pool and just start gorging yourself. And you hear Artemis screaming, and your eyes are swelling red, and everything is just intoxicating right now. You're just overwhelmed by euphoria, and you just hear this voice penetrate your fixation, and you hear him yell, "Oliver, if you don't stop right now, I will fucking kill you." From Artemis.
I pull off, and I just turn and look at him.
Mistress Ivy falls out of the chair, probably dead, if not moments away. And you have blood just down your business suit. And he looks at you and he says, "You have no right to take her life. That is my fucking sister." Something you had not known. And something that, in your years with him, he had kept a secret from you. And now that you think about it, he had been the one that introduced you in the first place.
Well, shit.
And are you leaving her be? I'm assuming like he's making like he's gonna cross to her. All right, he crosses to her. He kind of shoves you out of the way. He doesn't put much effort to it. He's just clearing space out so he can get to her. He reaches down and he holds her, and he just starts crying. And he looks up at you and he goes, "You have no fucking clue what we went through." And you flash back and you know that he was an orphan. You know that he was put through some bad situations. He had some bad foster parents that did stuff to him.
Orphans in New Salem really don't have it.
Good. I don't know if there's a fate worse than being an orphan in New Salem.
If this town is as bad on the adults, just imagine what happens to the kids.
And in a moment, you kind of, as the blood sinks in, you kind of feel this weird sort of love for Artemis that she had in her as well. This pillar of strength, and everything clicks. He had talked about vaguely about how hard it was growing up, but how someone had really helped him through everything, and there was one person in the world that was responsible for him being alive. And everything just clicks, and you realize that you just took away the only thing that really mattered to Artemis in the entire world. What do you do? Knowing that the manager has probably called the police by now.
I think I just flee.
Okay. So, what backup plan to flee the restaurant during the daylight had you set up?
This restaurant was in part of the old town.
Okay.
It has one of these underground tunnels going over.
Like a parking garage too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just dipped through, like in the kitchen, they've got a grease trap that's below the surface, so they have a maintenance for it. I pop into there, and there's a passage that leads into the...
Okay, so you just tear out of there, you have blood all over you, people are screaming, you burst in the kitchen, you're shoving past people. I'm going to have you make a roll to escape. On a hit, you get away.
The dice...
That's a good one. That's a 5.
Oh, it's a 5, thank God.
And you're rolling with blood.
So I have a 10.
Alright, so you have 10 plus. You can suffer one harm during your escape, you can end up in another dangerous situation, you leave something important behind, you owe someone a debt, or you give into your base nature and mark corruption.
I'm, given the situation, I think I'll just mark a corruption.
Feral vampire. Alright. So mark a corruption and explain to me how you escape. So you burst out of the room. Everyone's screaming. There's a lot of confusion. They heard sounds and weird sounds coming from this kind of special dining area. You have blood all over you. They see someone holding someone crying audibly in the background. What do you do?
Well, I'm getting the fuck out of here because this is a bad place.
Yep.
So I picked this particular building. Well, I guess I didn't pick it, but it was very fortunate that this one is one they picked. It's built on some of Old Salem's original like tunnels and stuff.
Okay.
And creatures of the night kind of know our way around in some of these areas. Some are a little more dangerous to be around. But so I'm actually going to run into the kitchen.
Okay.
And just like rip up a chunk of flooring.
Deal.
And duck into one of these tunnels that's going to take me to a garage where I can have Robbie pick me up.
All right, deal. Okay, so you burst into the kitchen, you're throwing past people, you just kind of rip up some of this like old flooring, because the building's pretty old.
Oh, yeah.
You just rip up some of the flooring and you just drop down into a floor, you kind of disappear. Nobody's chasing you because there's no like security guards.
A dark hole
and
somebody just ripped into the floor.
But the authorities are definitely on their way. You make your way down to the basement and you escape through the underground tunnels. Perfect. All right, so I think with that being a scene, I think we're going to cut to later that day. Now, Jake, you were probably dropped off. You probably rode with them to the Redmore clan. Leold took Aurora,
and then
called Reynold, let him know that the deed is done.
Hey, a car in the world.
A car was sent. Picked you up, took you to Cato Tower, and there's no formalities or anything. I'll just say Reynold leads you to the elevator. Instead of going up, you guys go down this time. You guys head down into. He puts a key into the elevator and he turns it, and he doesn't even push a button. The elevator starts going down, and it goes past basement 1, past basement 2, past basement 3, and it just keeps going.
It's probably the first time you've seen something like
that.
Yeah,
the button, like the thing doesn't even say anything anymore. It just goes on for another like 20 to 30 seconds, just going down at a very slow pace, and then it stops and it opens, and it is a different world down here. There are cages and there are like armed guards walking around, and it looks pretty heavily guarded, but it's just this underground labyrinth and facility, and you can tell that they make no efforts to hide the supernatural nature of this. The guards walking around have Uzis, but they also have katanas on their back, and the katanas have dragon iconology going down the sheath, and these guys look like part ninja, part mech warrior. It's really bizarre.
Okay.
And Reynold leads you past this maze of twisting oddities and back into this room, and you see Sarah and Anna, and there's this like little door slit, and he opens it, and he says you have a couple minutes, and so you have to talk to him through a door slit.
Alright, I'll just run in.
And so Sarah looks up to you and goes, "Oh my God, is that Jake? Is that you?"
It's me, Sarah. It's me. How are you? Okay? I'm so glad that you're okay. I'm sorry that I have so much to tell you. Are you guys okay?
Jake, what is this?
Sarah, look, this is the reason why I didn't want you to know about my other life, this other thing of me. I didn't want you to be intertwined in it, but now you are, and I'm so sorry.
And like Anna wakes up and she's like weak and she struggles up. She goes, "Daddy," and Sarah goes,
like,
"Don't call him that."
And I'm just like trying to.
But you can't reach through. It's just a door slit. Yeah, it's like you literally have this much space to
look.
look.
My hand on it, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, it's me, honey. I'm so sorry you guys are going through this. I'm gonna get you out. I promise."
What? Why are we here?
Because
Jake, what the fuck is this?
Sarah, this is what they're doing to me. Is they're using you as a pawn. They're using you to make me do things.
Reynold.
Look, I can't say much. I'm gonna get you out. I have this fight coming up, and I'm gonna win it for you guys, so you guys can come back to me.
And Sarah's like, she just walks away, and Anna's like, Jake?
Yes, honey, yes.
I miss you.
I miss you too. I'm so sorry. Please take care of your mother.
And then Reynolds slides it shut. And then you see there's a plethora of guards around you. And Reynolds goes, the deal is done. You have delivered, and we have delivered. You want more? Wins the fight tonight.
Fine, take me back up.
Okay. You head back to the elevator.
First one's free.
You head back to the elevator. He turns the key. You return to the world of the daylight. The fading daylight. As it's becoming evening.
I'm motivated as a motherfucker.
You have a date
right
tonight. Alright. Right. Let me check the time super quick. Because I think we might just
Daylight
cut.
is overrated.
I think we're going to cut right to it. So, you're frantic. You meet up with Oliver. It's nighttime, right? But it's early night. The werewolves know that this is a supernatural game, the arena fighting, but they also, they have responsible bedtimes. They're werewolves, not swearwolves. That's a joke for What We Do in the Shadows. If you haven't seen it, it is one of the best fucking supernatural movies ever. Right. So so there's a little bit of kind of, I guess not necessarily housekeeping, but maybe pre-fight prep stuff that you guys can go over. Yep. So when you guys link up, there's probably like a dressing room or whatever. It's probably pretty beat up. There's a lot of blood and
I'm just kind of
bouncing.
sitting down, just bouncing, loosen up, because doing the boxing thing.
Yeah. Oliver comes in and he looks very distracted, very disheveled.
I'm trying to stay in the zone. I notice him, but
Jake, just calm down.
Oliver, it's time. It's time.
Look, okay, you're fighting out there, not in here.
I know, but I gotta be ready. You know the Trent's not gonna be easy.
Jake, I have no doubt in your abilities. I don't think you'll have any trouble at all. He's just a wolf. I almost killed him the other night.
Yeah, an injured one at that.
Well, in that case, but it doesn't hurt to prepare, to be ready.
You have not seen him stop preparing.
I got a lot riding on this.
In fact, you even heard back from the gym guy that he
fell asleep.
He fell asleep at the bench. Yeah,
he went down to do some leg presses and just.
Yeah,
Jake, you've been doing nothing but prepare. You're going to be fine. I mean, for fuck's sake, you're a demon. You call upon the powers of darkness.
And they shall be there tonight. This is his end.
Who? What? Who'll be there?
The darkness, the powers.
I just smile at, the darkness being there. It's like, Jake, the darkness never leaves us. Creatures like us thrive in the darkness. It's when we're in the light that bad things happen.
Alright, so I think we're going to have a knock at the door, and Calvin comes in. He's also looking disheveled and
it's
frantic.
Disheveled Thursday.
And so I think all three of you together, I think it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah.
Calvin, it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, Oliver.
How have you been?
I've been alright, just staying busy.
I mean, I can understand that feeling.
And Jake, how are you?
Calvin, I'm pumped, ready,
He's a little antsy.
Getting down.
How'd that meeting go earlier?
Dude, I don't know what happened. I got there and there's crazy police. I didn't see anybody there. Were you not? I don't know, man. I gotta focus. It's game time.
More of these daytime
game
meetings.
time.
So what? You just didn't go?
I didn't see anybody there. I didn't see you there, so I left. I didn't want to deal with the police. I have this fight to be ready for.
Not only that, but you're kind of worried that you're wanted.
Jake, what are you doing with the police?
Calvin set it up. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, what?
I can't.
No, what are you doing with the police?
Look, this doesn't need to happen tonight. We've devised a plan that we can get Anna and Sarah out of Kato Tower.
We have no more time for talking. It's time for
anything,
action.
But apparently someone decides to skip meetings that they set up.
No one was there. I don't want you to tell.
And you haven't been able to get Aurora all day since lunchtime.
I
gotta get ready.
Wait, you guys have an alternate way in. This is something that we really should have talked about before the fight.
Yeah, there's another knock at the door. He peeks in. He goes, "Got 5 minutes till you fight."
We really should have had a meeting about this.
Someone wasn't answering calls.
Jake, you still have the phone I got you, right?
This piece of shit. No, it's
Yeah. So
broken.
the guy that
You broke your phone.
the fight technician or whatever their official title is.
Yeah.
He's like, which one of you is the manager? I need to speak to him real quick.
That's me.
All right, come on out here real quick.
Just toss the phone back at Jake.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
So he pulls you aside. He's just asking like logistics. What's the company name? This is real underground, but sometimes
They
there's
need to,
banners.
yeah.
There's the theatrics of it.
We've got the Silver Shadow here.
So we'll have that off camera, but make sure you have something like that prepared for the announcer.
The announcers.
Yeah. So, all right. So it just leaves you two in the room for a minute or two.
Just bobbing. I'm like,
You didn't see Aurora there.
I didn't, mate. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I'm trying to focus on this upcoming event. I don't know. I didn't even know she was. I don't even know.
I told you I'd bring her.
Yes, you're right.
What do you mean you didn't know she was coming?
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking too many things. I need to stay
You
focused.
do know who Aurora is, right?
I do.
The one we met up with in the casino
You're right, Calvin. You're right. I know who she is.
before you started working for Kato, right?
I'm not working for him. I have to do this to get my family back. You know that.
Are you gonna figure him out?
I am going to figure him
This
out.
sounds like the perfect time. Like he's acting pretty sketch.
Okay, so roll with mine plus 2. 6, 7, 8.
Okay. On an 8, figuring someone out. You hold 2. They hold 1.
Okay. I think one of them I'm going to ask is, what does your character worry might happen?
You do have to answer truthfully.
And he'll find out, right?
Yeah, then he'll find out that he'll know the truth.
You get one on him too.
Yeah, you get one
Go
question
ahead and
after
ask
that.
me, and then I'll do the last one.
Excuse me.
Ask him the same one back.
How could I get your character to drop this?
To probably find out where Aurora is.
I know, but I'm hoping there's
You're
something
not
else.
gonna like the answer.
Like,
Just to stop talking and let me focus on the training, the fight that's coming up in 5 minutes.
if you would just tell me the truth. I think it's pretty
That's a
obvious.
fair
you're
answer.
not.
That's a
our
fair answer.
every time.
Yeah.
Just tell us the
All right, last question.
How could I put your character in my debt?
As of right now,
Just being my friend.
no.
I just need a
Somehow
friend.
helping me win the fight, or either that, or helping me get my kids back.
Well, that's winning the fight.
Yeah, so that's help me with the fight somehow.
Help him somehow to win the fight. I like that answer. All right, so we're gonna snap back in. So we can do some role playing. I'll probably interrupt this here in a second. So
Yeah, because I'm gonna be shady. That's not.
You're doing a pretty good job.
I think we all understand that you're gonna get that he's not telling you the whole truth, and I think thematically I'm gonna interrupt the time that you have to press on that,
Right.
Because Daniel will come back in.
Are we ready, Oliver?
Look,
Well, he's not. He's
Not
out.
right
He's
now.
out of the room. Yeah,
Jake,
this is him actually getting to press on the
Okay,
questions
okay.
now and role playing it.
something's not right here. You're acting weird, man. Like, I get you have a fight coming up, but that was your choice.
Yeah.
You
It's a
put
choice
yourself
I have.
there.
I have to depend on myself to save my family.
So quit fucking lying to me and tell me what's really going
At
on.
this point, Oliver comes back in, and you hear him ruffling up Jake's feathers, and
Hey, Jake, it's time. Okay, we've got to go.
Then as I'm walking, I'm like, "Sorry, Calvin. let me know if I can help you. And I'll just walk out.
Good luck, Jake.
Jake,
Let's go.
give him one for Scarlet.
We'll do, and just throw the hood over.
Okay. Deal. Does Oliver have anything to say to Calvin? Distracting my
Not
fighter, you
really.
son of a bitch.
So
I got a lot of money riding on it.
What are you doing, man? I get a lot of money on this guy. Well, I guess you don't need the money.
No.
Yeah. All right. So, so you guys head out. You're kind of left in the locker room. It's kind of like mad.
Mm-hmm.
He's being
You
sketched.
kick a bucket.
And all of a sudden, this is the first you've heard about police at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And so he has a lot of answers, but didn't give you any time to hear them out. So you probably head back, I guess, to wherever... Because you probably met up with Vincennes here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to meet up with Aurora here.
But
And
she
there's-
hasn't shown.
Yeah, and some of like Trent's other wolves are there too and stuff like that. So you kind of link back up with your group, I guess.
You
right?
can join me in the owner's box if you like.
You know, which
Pretty sure
company would you
Vincennes
rather
has
hold?
nice box.
Yeah, it's like which company would you rather hold?
I think I'll head to Vincennes' box.
Okay. Yeah,
All
Oliver's
alone,
probably. Are you
you're
in
all
the? Are you
alone.
like in the corner with him though? You probably wouldn't just
Yeah.
leave him. Yeah. All right. Unless do
Well,
you hire a fighting staff?
probably not.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
imagine this isn't the kind of fighting
No, but it's like
that has rounds.
there's like Mickey in the corner, like you're a bum, Jake. You know, it's more like go kill him, Jake. Or if you do, I get a sandwich. You know, like yeah.
I get to live another day.
You know, a fight to the death, I don't imagine they pause.
I don't
Not a
think
lot of
there's rounds.
sanctions.
So I
Yeah.
imagine once the fight begins, I will
Yeah.
be exiting the ring to my
Probably,
box.
yeah. You'll probably just like, or just like over the rail
You
yelling
know,
at him.
out of the splash zone.
Well, there's still like a coaching corner. Yeah, like
Talk through
it's
like
elevated.
prison handset.
All right, so so we're just gonna head to the spectacle that is. So there's like a quiet that falls over the crowd. There's probably been some other fights kind of warming up. This
We're a main event.
you are
We're a main event.
Oh,
okay. Okay, your main
Because
event.
this is a grudge match.
Okay. Well, and the werewolves put this on, but
Yeah.
maybe not Trent's clan, but Trent is very respecting
Right.
the werewolf clan. So, and you're also branded as the Heritage Park Butcher. Is that something?
Yep.
Okay. I mean that whatever the headlines. I like the idea of the Heritage Park Butcher. The Heritage Park Butcher,
Yeah.
because you killed 3 or 4 people there,
You've got on
right?
a couple of murders.
I've caught on a few. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a few that I still don't even know. Because I was.
So you're
He
like,
has a few
yeah.
uncounted days.
There's like 5 newspapers that you kept just in case. You're like, I don't know which nickname I like
I
the
don't know.
best. All right, but that's probably is that an entrance nickname for you? Okay.
I guess so. I mean, it hurts, but
So a quiet hush falls over the crowd as the creatures of the night enter the arena. They're in their mortal forms, dressed in very casual, plain clothing that will be destroyed soon when they both transform into their true fighting forms. The announcer introduces the challenger first. The Heritage Park Butcher, a man who is wanted for countless murders, a terror of the streets, one who rips soul from flesh. Some call him Jake, others call him a nightmare. And then the crowd kind of cheers. It's pretty quiet.
and I'm
Your
just
end,
I'm
yeah.
just bouncing up and down. I'm not.
And then some people are like, "Oh shit, the Heritage Park Butcher."
I live
Oh,
to drink
damn.
to you.
Yeah. And then as Trent enters, right, he's just in some shorts. He has this like cloak kind of over him. He drops it, shows his like ripped form. He is in great shape. He has some bruising from recent battles, and he has that scar across his face. But when the announcer, most wolves around here howl to the moon, but when Trent enters the arena, the new moon breaks. When it reaches full moon, Trent, Vicious Razormane, takes his true form. And there's like even this like cinematic like light having a tarp like pulled off of it, and the spotlight just floods the arena. And it's a full moon, and you can hear it sounds like a full moon, and you hear all the wolves start to howl. And in this moment, you look across and you see Trent in his bare form, and he kind of nods to you. A warrior's agreement.
Nod back, yeah.
That if given the chance, we'll make this a great fight, one for the ages. And he will kill you, or you will kill him. But one of you two is not leaving here alive.
Okay.
And the announcer basically gives like a countdown. 10, 9, 8. You feel the darkness swelling within you. 7, 6. The wolves start howling as Trent starts walking, pacing back and forth in this circle. You see the cages lock behind you. The chants of butcher start to emerge, but faded briefly by the howls of the werewolves. And in this moment, you feel the darkness swell, and Nefaris granting you the power that you were put on this planet to wield. Transform.
And I'm just gonna let out a
3, 2, 1. And I think you have to roll, right? I mean, as anticlimactic as that is. And dice.
So,
I think you had blood.
choose one. Blood is 3, so 8. Right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Whenever you
So 8.
whenever you get your demon form,
Yeah, demon lingering.
on a miss, choose one, and you owe your patron a debt. So you're kind of overwhelmed by all this. You rolled really poorly. Classic Jake.
Yeah.
Whenever he needs a good roll, he fucks it up. Yep. All right, so you have to. I'm gonna say that instead of owing your patron a debt, because at this I think it's double digits now. I'm gonna make you mark corruption.
There is literally nothing more you could owe him.
Excuse me.
Me out.
All right. Did you just advance
Just
corruption?
advance corruption.
Oh.
Nice. That's
Welcome
a
to
great
the
spot to
party.
do it.
Yeah, that's a. I don't know if there's a better time. Go ahead and take a corruption move that will help you in your battle against Trent.
So just below the surface, I mark corruption to assume my demonic form without rolling, and I gain all the options listed.
Now, unfortunately, that'll only be used later.
Right.
So if you want to be badass later, that's a great one to take. Is there anything that can help you this battle?
I can summon demons to help me.
That sounds fair. I don't know that.
Does
We
that
have to
sound
check
fair?
the rule book.
I don't.
There is no
It says
rule.
mark
I-
corruption to have your
First
patron
three
send
fights.
a gang of demons to work on your behalf for a scene. They do 2 harm small and 2 armor demonic.
So you're the one that created the werewolf fighting arena. Now I'm asking Junior, the creator of the werewolf arena, is stuff
Is
like
that
that
allowed?
legal? I mean, you and Trent kind of just had a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think
Okay,
it's gotta
just take
run
whatever
on-
corruption move you want to use for the future then.
Okay.
It sounds like none of them will help you right now.
Yep.
Alright. Which one are you taking?
The just below the surface.
Okay.
So
Alright, so badass transformations
Yeah.
later. Okay. Alright.
If I
So,
survive here.
yeah, if you survive, of course. Yeah, so you get to take one of these from the list though. What would you like to take?
I think I'm gonna gain an armor because I'm gonna need it.
Okay. And what does your armor do? Just one damage
Just one
reduction?
armor. Actually, I have. So it'll give me a +2 armor.
'Kay.
Because I have tough as nails.
Now, with tough as nails, do you still want that +1 armor, or do you want to take damage, or you won't be able to use your sword, right? If you don't take that.
That's true.
So what is your
So I
+1?
I can have the gain armor, the heal, two harm, which it doesn't matter. I can inflict 1 harm right away, and then the other 2 are the demonic sword or demonic movement that I can choose from.
No, inflict 1 harm
But
is
this one
just
here,
extra damage.
if you're working on a job for your patron, which I am, I choose 1 more.
Oh,
If you mark corruption, you can choose 1 more, so I can choose up to 3. if
I
I'm
think you
choosing
should mark
additional-
corruption. I mean, this is a death match
Yeah. So
For your patron.
for your patron.
So I'll
All right.
boom again,
In his
Okay.
grand honor.
and so now I get to choose 3.
He's probably sitting
Correct?
next to me in
Yeah.
the box.
So I'm definitely gonna inflict 1 harm,
Okay.
and I'm gonna do the demonic weapon, but not right now.
Okay.
I can save it for
Yeah.
later. Okay, and then let's do for the first time some kind of demonic movement. So That's like flight, flaming, a flaming motorcycle, etc. So we get to choose.
Take on a flaming motorcycle.
All right, I was just gonna say flight.
I think I'm gonna sprout like demonic wings.
Okay, perfect. All right, so 3, 2, 1, and you just rip out. Your demonic form just rips through your skin, eradicates your clothing, and you sprout wings. And this is very rare. You're feeling the swell of your patron Nefaris grant you extra power. I mean, if you didn't have chitinous armor, your boner would be visible, right?
The thok was still heard, though.
And then the arena grows quiet as you're screaming. Trent howls as his bone structure starts to shift and rip, and he darkens and hair just starts to grow from his face, and his fingers extend and thicken into his sharp claws. And even the back of his shoulders start to jut out with this jagged, rigid razor mane. Quite literally, he has a sort of porcupine spine, a very much rarity with werewolves, but a beneficial abnormality nonetheless. And immediately he just puts his claws into the ground and just rips up dirt as he starts charging across this 20-foot arena at you. And you feel these wings sprouting and stretch out as he reaches towards you and he leaps at you. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to counter, so I'm gonna kind of shift and maybe even with the wing.
Okay.
Clip him as he's going.
I like both the arm and the wing, right? Just trying to double clip him.
Yeah,
okay.
because
so
he's coming hard. So.
Yeah. So he's coming in hot. Go ahead and roll unleash an attack.
Come on, baby.
Now I guess you're really super lucky. This is a great roll, but you're also very lucky because I don't get to roll dice in this. Otherwise, we've seen what happens in other campaigns and other games.
So, unleash an attack, roll with blood, which I have a +3, so I'm at 13.
Jesus.
On a hit, you inflict harm as established and choose one. So I inflict terrible harm. I take something from them.
So do you want to deal vicious harm, or do you want to take the high ground from him and have him on his back, right?
No, we're inflicting harm. This is to death.
All right. So you come in with this uppercut, and your wing has this sharp pointed spear at the tip of it. It's not going to do too much damage, but it buries into his ribs as your arm uppercuts him, and you not only knock him underneath, but your wing drives deep into his ribs, and it kind of launches him over, and you slam him into the ground with your wings, and he immediately scrambles up. He immediately comes back at you. He leaps up into the air heroically. He's coming down to slam on top of you.
I'm just gonna probably bring the wings in to defend.
Okay.
Because I know he's coming, so I'm gonna try to get the wings in to defend.
Okay, deal. He lands on top of you. You feel his claws scraping at your wings. He kind of bounced into you, planted his feet, and now he's ferociously just ripping at your wings. And these leathery wings will protect you, but not for long.
Yeah.
They're just buying you a moment.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try
What's
to
your counter?
push off.
Okay.
And just get some distance. And as I'm pushing off, I probably can't reach him, but I'm just gonna try to get distance right now, so that I can, because the wall's right behind me. So I'm gonna try to push on the distance, and then with my feet hit the wall. Kind of Superman.
Deal. All right. You don't have to try, man. You shove him back. You turn around. I like how that you kind of run on the wall for 3 steps, and then you leap, right?
Okay, so I roll for that too?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
All right. This is unleashing an attack, right?
Yep.
And he got a 9 on the dice, so he's rolling pretty good. So that's a 12 plus. That is definitely going to be another hit. Do you want to inflict terrible harm again, or do you want to take something from them?
I mean, what could I take from him? He doesn't really have anything.
Don't always think of this as a physical thing. This is taking the advantage from him.
Okay.
Right now he bounces back quickly. You can take his morale. You can take his.
I want to take that advantage.
So you wall run. You leap off the wall. You maybe do a tumble real quick. You bound out of the tumble into this flight. Your wings expand. You catch wind, and you just boom. You hammer down with your feet. Because you have hooves, right?
Just a double footer. Yep.
Yeah, you have demonic hooves. You slam down into this werewolf, as he kind of like knocked back. He scrambled. He fell back to his back. He's scrambling up. You just drive your feet into him, and now you have high ground. You're standing on top of him. He's pretty wounded, but he's like immediately grabs your leg, and he's like driving his claws into your leg. Just jack him once.
Right.
Now this might be. He's looking kind of injured, right? You've clearly rolled amazing, and you're inflicting terrible harm.
So this might be the end.
It could be close. He starts to get pretty frantic. He grabs your leg, and he kind of drives his claws into your knee, driving you down because like your knee gives out. You drive down. He grabs you, and he starts to shift momentum, right? He scrambles up, and he's almost starting to shove you onto your back.
Okay. As he's shoving, I'm going to just yell out. Yell out. I will not be weak. And then I'm gonna just push the sword out. Yeah, I'm gonna force kind of get a little distance.
Okay.
And at the same time, brand that sword.
Okay. So you grab this kind of hilt, you pull this sword out of your chest. This fiery sword ignites, and the crowd goes fucking crazy. And I guess we'll cut real quick to the stands. It's looking pretty bad for Trent. It's looking pretty good for
I'm
Jake.
on my feet cheering.
Yeah.
It's been a great fight.
What's your reaction?
I think Calvin just looks at Vincennes, says, "I'm sorry," and just walks out, lights a cigarette, and leaves the fight.
Deal. And as the camera turns back, fiery sword in hand, you see Trent kind of hits himself in the chest, and his muscles start to swell and shift a little bit more, and he just grows in size a little bit more, almost just mutating into this kind of crazy hyper wolf, and he just howls, and it shudders the whole arena, and it reminds you briefly, for just a moment, of the entire world shaking with those eyes piercing the darkness. Now this isn't the same, but you just have this snap. Of if you go into that arena, something bad is going to happen, and you get distracted for a moment, and within that moment, Trent is upon you, and he's just driving his claws into you, and I'm going to make you take some damage. Okay, he's just digging his nails into your chest, into your throat. He's just ravaging you. Your wings are flapping. You're trying to struggle. Your sword is in your hand. He's on top of you frantically. You have him by the throat as he's ripping into you. You have your sword. What do you do?
Just gonna take the sword and I'm not powerless.
Just all right. Roll it.
Decapitate.
Roll it. Jeez, man, you were fucking rolling like crazy. You rolled a 9 on the dice, plus 3 equals 12. You, I'm assuming, inflict terrible harm.
Yeah, terrible harm.
And you cut off Trent's head.
Do you want to take something from him?
Take his head.
Yeah.
Take his
so
soul?
you. I think if you're cutting his head off, probably. Yeah. So you.
Good.
But plus, him and Trent had a gentleman's agreement.
We did
kind of thing.
To not banish his soul to a demon.
Not tear his soul out, and he wasn't gonna eat your body.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you cut off his head, and the entire arena, half the arena just gasps, and the entire arena gasps. Half is with sheer excitement, and half is with amazement.
Yeah. And then
blood this black ichory blood just pours over you as you shove Trent's lifeless, massive body off of you.
And I'm exhausted.
Your sword falls from your hand. You rise up, and then the cheers just erupt for you. The crowd goes crazy. The wolves howl as mourning. You can tell there's a difference in the howling, but he died a good death, and they howl at Trent's life and his death. And the announcer gets on the comm, and the squeakers are reverberating because it's a shit setup, the shit system. The Butcher of Heritage Park.
I'm just gonna reach back down, grab the sword, look at Trent, and then just kind of shield it back in.
Okay.
And just
And
bring the wings back down.
okay. And as you're sort of recuperating, we are going to call that a session. With Jake having narrowly escaped. Well, not necessarily narrowly. I'm pretty sure Jake Junior made a deal with the devil for his dice tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to call that a session. We will see you again for more friends like these next week. Not bad.
Murder fest.
Not bad at all.
Always end on a murder.
Not bad at all. What do you think, man?
That was crazy, dude.
Is that cool?
That was crazy. Our back and forth and describing.
That was pretty cool. He's actually in his sanctum in his office, so if anybody
Knocks, he hears the knock and then opens the door for like glowy
he has
orange light,
he has a
closes it,
closet.
goes back in.
His only 10-year demand was that he has a closet in his office so he could come out of his sanctum into this room.
I just see this like contract like, I want a closet!
I need a closet for history book stuff.
Is like a wardrobe okay? No, I need a closet!
He has a mini fridge
Look,
that is the door to his sanctum.
A trunk worked. I'm pretty sure a wardrobe would work.
I really like the idea that it's a mini fridge, though.
So he has to like crawl
He
in.
has to crawl out of the mini fridge. Just a moment!